We are heading up the Old Pass Road, just below Teton Pass, and we are going to go look at some beetle killed trees and maybe put some verbenone on some trees. And there's quite a bit of beetle kill down here in the lodgepole. More than I thought there would be. When you have a bunch of trees in the same area with all red needles, I'd say that's a pretty good indicator that these are beetle kill. Well, this is a tree that looks like it's been hit by a lot of beetles, and this tree put up a good fight. You can tell because all these patches right here these are all pitch tubes where the tree tried to force the beetle out with sap. Pitch tube. You can see the little hole that the beetle probably originally left, and there's the hole that you can sort of see in this, like the galleries that the beetle has made here. This is the tunnel, and this was hit a few years ago, so it might be really hard to find beetles themselves. It's not a fresh kill. That looks like it could have been more recent because it's still a little bit green up there, so maybe we should check out to see if this is if we can find some beetles. I am guessing that this tree, seeing that how the needles aren't completely red, there's still some green up there, some green mixed in, that this one was probably hit last year, and but at this point it's almost dead. It's almost completely dead.
See some beetles?
Yeah, here's a beetle right there. Oh, we lost him.
False alarm. How big are they?
Beetles are about the size of a grain of rice.
There's a larva.
There's a larva. There's a grub.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a little beetle right there.
See, this is a pitch tube, and we think, it's hard to tell because it's so small, but I'm pretty sure that's a beetle right there. And what likely happens is it either died and got caught in the sap, or it was actually expelled by the tree, which is what the purpose of the sap is. When the beetle burrows, the tree tries to expel it with this sap.
Yeah, look at that tiny little thing. It's amazing that these teeny tiny little things are causing all this damage.
Here, Peps. Here's a beetle.
So the Tree Fight organization is all about capturing a ton of volunteers to basically go try and protect these white bark pine trees.
Verbenone is based on the idea that the pheromone transmits to the beetles that these trees are already taken. And this year this is kind of our pilot program to see if the verbenone works. So we're trying to be very methodical about where we're putting it.
We've identified 11 to 12 high priority stands in certain areas that it would be really valuable for those trees to be saved. This verbenone doesn't kill beetles, it just deters them. So here's the lodgepole pine. We're going to put a packet of verbenone on this thing. I got my staple hammer and I got some verbenone in my bag here. Make sure it's on the north side of the tree, which is, yeah, definitely this side. And I'm going to put 2 or 3 staples in it to make sure it's really secure. Bada bing. And hopefully that's going to deter the beetles. And we suggest this iPhone application called Motion X, and what it did is it tracked us using GPS all the way from the car to where we are. The Tree Fight staff just received word about where I am and where I just put the verbenone, so that we could come back next year and see if the verbenone worked. I've got it set up to share to email, and then I could set it up to share to Twitter, to Facebook. Beetles. Be any easier? What you got?